Welcome back, Michael at Wickerson Studios. I'm a little surprised more people aren't working in Grasshopper 2 Alpha. I'm sure they are for McNeil's, but I'd like to see some more open source stuff. So let's just travel through it and do some simple stuff. Jumping in here, getting a range going, multiplication of a sign, yada, yada, yada. I did it in my last video. Produced a curve and produced points. So from the points, you can really get into the meta tab right here and start activating all of these assigns over to the Rhino environment. So have some fun with that. Assigning metadata is as simple as creating metadata, and then assigning display radius is the first one I want to get into. I think it's the first one that's in here. Assigning display radius, no, it's the fourth one, but I thought it would be most understandable. So that's what you can do. You can put it in, and that's for the point itself. Then I went in and I was like just playing around with clovers, hearts, pins, tags, anything you want to change for your point reference. Really nice, and outputting that point. Then I was playing around with curves. Curves allow you to go in and you could assign the display width, but I figured instead of a curve width, why not use a curve radius, which would allow me to do this funky little radii here. And that's exactly what I ended up doing for the curve, and I ended up applying colors to it. So, and when you go into these areas, they will tell you basically what the effect, the size of the point previews. You have to create your metadata. You have to give it a good name. You can play off the sides of that as you go. You can see. I think I had a baked form, but no, that's another pipe on there. So I'll just make this one bigger so you can see the purple that's coming out of here. And that's the color that I'm having full range of as I use my assign color display. Like I said, all these scripts are up and available on my huge list of Grasshopper 2 samples. I think I'm nearly at 50 now. We're at 45. Then all I did was put it through a pipe, and I thought, well, let's take it through a mesh pipe. And in doing so, let me pull down the scale of the other one so we can actually see that one. Output it as a mesh and running it through the assign Rhino color. So once you get away from all of these here that are assigning everything for the display in the important, those are all display based. If you want them when they bake to become a color, a layer, a name, or a section, then you want to jump in here and make sure you're using the Rhino color display. And that's exactly what I did. I went all the way through. There was an interesting one here that I took a line and another line, a curve and a curve, and I made a surface, and I used the diffuse button, so you can see you can play with all the colors throughout the diffuse. Wonderful ways of coloring things and different samples of how to do that. But really get these up and running and just literally run through them. I did not bake to a layer, and I did not bake to a Rhino name, and I did not assign to a Rhino section. Those are things I'll leave you to do for yourself. And a couple of minutes, 2-3 minutes of just getting your metas running. Once you flow through there, there's nothing you haven't played with, and you started to figure it out. The only thing I really want to master is getting in here with harvesting. And until I got this figured out, I was thinking like they were connected more to trees than I thought. And solving path mapper, they really are like baking geometry. They're like the old bake component. What do you want to do with it? How do you want to visualize? But wonderful models now. It's going to have complete control over what you want to do as you get into this. Anyhow, Michael at Wickerson Studios, keep going. Never stop. Saturday, Mother's Day tomorrow.